Salut Sama and welcome back to the All Pass. I was here in my last video, I think, with the F-Type SVR. However, today I am with the Audi RS4 from Audi Switzerland in this epic looking green. I think it looks fantastic. Super happy to have a press car that isn't in a boring grey or black for once, because there is already a million reviews of this car online already. I'm not gonna do such a review on it, but just basically have some fun on the All Pass today. A friend of mine who's also got the Range Rover SVR is coming up to join us as well. I know they're quite opposites of cars, but I thought it could be quite interesting comparing them both. This is a luxury estate car and that's a luxury SUV, so I think if you were thinking about buying a bigger car for that amount of money, it would be quite interesting comparing the two. And to compare them, we're just gonna hoon them up and down a mountain pass all day. But it is freezing at the moment, so let's jump inside the RS4. I've got the price listing here. So this exact one with all the options it's got on it is going for 129,000 Swiss francs. And the most expensive option out of interest would be the design packet, which I'm, to be honest, not sure what is, but I'm guessing it's some details throughout the car. That is an extra 4,500 Swiss francs. But now let's first talk about the sound. So this has the RS Sports exhaust, and I'm definitely not convinced on the sound. As you just heard, it doesn't sound particularly good. Loads of other options, very nice, green stitching everywhere. Anyway, let's go for a drive. It is 450 PS bi-turbo V6, and of course the turbos are the thing that take away most of the sound. I didn't realize how bad the sound was until just before, when I was stood outside and someone else was sat here revving the car, and it really sounded like a hairdryer, to be honest. Very disappointing, especially if you've just spent an extra 1,500 Swiss francs on a sports exhaust. You might have just heard that it does sound quite cool on the gear change. From the inside, I think it sounds better than the outside. I'm not sure if there's fake noise being pumped into here. Would not surprise me if there was. But this 450 PS seems to be available instantly. It really, as soon as you touch the throttle, it's just there. So aside from the disappointment of the sound, the car itself is of course extremely well made, and it just does its job. You can hammer it around these corners like a sports car. It's super quick. I mean, this 450 PS really is enough power, to be honest. You don't need much more than this. I don't like the sound on the paddles when you change gear. It sounds just really cheap, and they are super cheap plasticky paddles, which is something I've always complained about in Audis. Even on the R8, a supercar, you get these horrible cheap plastic paddles, and I never understood it, why they still haven't changed it. But yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about this car because, like I said, there is already a million reviews out there on it. Just really wanted to come here, have a bit of fun on a mountain pass, and give some of my feedback on how it is. The interior, I like the steering wheel, I like the seats, everything feels nice. It just feels a little bit boring, and I know they just really haven't changed the interior much over the years, but it is a personal thing at the end. Maybe some of you love the Audi interior. There's some people out there that don't like the interiors on the Mercedes AMGs. I think they look brilliant. I think they look more exciting than Audi's interior, but there's people that think the other way around as well. Build quality and how this car works is where it shines. It just works so well, and for what I'm using it for now, I'm smashing around in the Alps. You can drive it in the snow, you can drive it all year long, probably without any problems whatsoever. It just does its job. It's reliable, and I think that's why a lot of people out here in Switzerland like Audis and like especially this car, because you know you can drive up into the mountains. if you get caught in bad weather or whatever, you will have no problems with this car. So I think, big story short for me, I really like this car. I appreciate it. It just doesn't really excite me. Bearing in mind it's got an RS badge, so I have this kind of high level of expectation for excitement. It just doesn't bring me that excitement with an RS badge. Anyway, let's turn around, go back and jump in the Range Rover and compare them. So just another thing now, what I'm doing, this is where this car's great. You can just throw it around so easily. It's just a very practical car, I guess, which is also what makes it so popular. Flat down, it's quick. It does make me smile in that sense. It really is a fast car.
I'm excited.
I'm super excited to jump in the SVR now. We're gonna jump in that. The noise machine. Brand new Range Rover SVR. What a tough day it is today, jumping in between these two luxury cars. Now, I have driven the previous Range Rover SVR. I did really like it. It did have a very tanky feel to it, and I also felt like it maybe made more noise than actual power. It was stupidly loud, that thing. I mean, I think it was borderline too loud. I love loud cars, but sometimes it just becomes noise. First thing that I noticed about this from hearing it outside before is, although it is still loud, it is quieter than the previous model. I think it sounds much better, way more refined. So let's give it a go. Can you call that refined? I think it is a little bit refined. Okay, that's crazy, that's ridiculous. It's still mad, but it definitely sounds better than the previous model. And plenty loud enough. I mean, you don't want your Range Rover any louder than this, surely. As far as I'm aware, it is the same engine in the F-Type SVR. Okay, that's crazy. That is just screaming. Sound produces many smiles on me. Although when I came to the top, they did claim the RS4 sounded quite cool from the outside when you're pushing it a bit on the road. I think on a standstill with the RS4, when you're just revving it, I think it sounds very differently. The sound comes way more to life when you're actually driving the car. This thing, however, oh, there we go, missed a gear, sounds crazy 99.9% of the time, and it's quick. .575 PS, so more powerful than the RS4. Whether it's actually quicker than the RS4, I don't know, just because of weight. The RS4 is definitely not light, but this thing is seriously heavy. And it doesn't feel quicker than the RS4. It feels, I would say, about the same. So this particular model in this spec is 170,000 Swiss francs. What I've noticed as well is the interior, the updated interior looks way nicer as well. Really liking that, but I'm liking this way more. And it's also quite ridiculous that in a Range Rover, I'm having this amount of fun on a twisty mountain pass. I mean, look at this, and it's doing it with ease around these corners. It's just crazy. So they have definitely done a good job in making a performance SUV I guess the question is, would you take a performance SUV or a performance estate car? I don't know. I like them both. And this thing as well is going to drink fuel like crazy. I like it.
I knew it.
The noise is epic.
Yeah.
Bye. I think to live with, this would be super nice. I'm loving this whole interface up here. Really liking the interior a lot on this, the updated interior. The sound is ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't really talk about the car. I was just going, oh my God, I love the sound. Super nice.
Quick?
We were just talking about that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's quicker than that. See, I knew it.
Yeah.
Last night, Ralph was writing me saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna destroy you tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. And I was really like, that RS4 is, and the power is boom.
Yeah.
It's instant.
Let's just do what you want to. Please don't be polite, cause I like your attitude. Let's forget about a curfew, cause all that is stuck in my head. It's me and you, pulse speed and my heart is racing, but I'm not sure I wanna place it, cause it only does this with you. Let's just do what you want to. Please don't be polite, cause I like your attitude.